Hey everyone, welcome to PlayJason. You could be anywhere in the world, watching anything, doing anything, dreaming anything. But you're here watching this, so thank you. My name is Jason. I write for Guitar.com, the fretboard journal, and I'm also a co-host on Working Class Music. So on today's episode, I'm going to tell you guys the story of how West Coast pedalboards saved my rig. I know that might sound a bit hyperbolic, but it's true, and they did. So here's the backstory to it. A few months back, my friends and I, in a band called Young Mountain, we started rehearsals for our first show in quite some time. We kind of took it as our reemergence into the Atlanta music scene, if you will. But there was one problem I started to have: my pedalboard. Now, it's been a few years since our last show, and admittedly, I decided that, hey, I didn't need a spaceship of a pedalboard, so I was just going to condense it. And condense it, I did. However, I realized my pedalboard just wasn't cutting it. I needed something a little bit bigger for this because I was missing quite a few of the essential pedals that I use. Now, considering I have two music projects that are on varying ends of the spectrum, if you will, I needed a pedalboard that could do both, but I needed one that was a bit more of a custom pedalboard. So I reached out to my friends at West Coast Pedalboard, and we came up with a solution. But before we go on, a quick shout out to one of today's sponsors, and that is Sweetwater. They hooked me up with the GoPro, which I've been using to capture a lot of the B-roll for this video. And it's kind of become invaluable for like over-the-head building shots, as you'll see. With that in mind, Sweetwater is one of the best places for gear, not just for musicians, but for content creators as well. Pedals, cameras, cables, yes, they've got it all. And most importantly, you get a free bag of candy. And a big shout out to our main sponsor, West Coast Pedalboards. Without them, this episode would not be possible. I went to them for the solution, and we built something quite beautiful, but most importantly, functional. So, thank you. With that out of the way, here's what I ended up with. Let's talk about the specs. For the board itself, I told Spencer, dealer's choice, and they surprised me. The wood is a curly walnut with eucalyptus, because if you're going bigger, it might as well look good. But we didn't stop there. See, since this is a custom pedal board and not your standard affair that you get from big box music store, I needed a bit of custom wiring. So this is where it gets interesting, because here's what it shipped with. You have your hook and loop top deck, a square plug SP500 right angle patch plugs, Mugami W2319 cable by the foot, the ultimate third hand soldering block, perfect for clean soldering work, a soldering iron, pen, holder, solder, snap-on strippers, and yes, a fresh tip. So here's the thing. I don't know how to solder, and with Mugami cables, I didn't really want to screw this up on day one. So I got my friend Andrew to help me with this, and more importantly, to make sure I didn't screw this up. Now, as far as the learning curve, West Coast Pedalboards made this far easier than it should have been. Honestly, I was expecting this to be a bit more difficult. But with the provided soldering kit and Andrew's assistance, I picked up the skills quite fast. And now, I think I got it. I think I can make my own patch cable, so big ups to your boy. So, with specs and stuff out of the way, on to the assembly. everything prepped, it was time for the fun part, putting pedals on the board. So I'm taking this off for the moment. Put you right here. Here's what it sounds like all together. That was a good one. We'll use that one. Let's go. Funny enough, I used the wrong reverb setting on that, but I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna just do another one. Let's see what else I can do. Oh, yeah. All right, that's it. And we're back. And I've got some thoughts about this. This whole process has been one of awe and wonder. Admittedly, going into this, I didn't know if I could pull this off. I didn't know if I had the temperament to be very patient with the process, especially soldering, because you can easily screw that up. But from what I learned, this whole thing is super easy. Now I kind of want to try the DIY kit, like where you build the pedal board from the ground up. That would be something I'd be interested in doing. But in short, to sum this up for you, this is an easy process. West Coast pedal boards are super awesome. If you're looking for a custom pedal board build, I would highly recommend them. 10/10. So with that said, thanks again to this episode's sponsor, Sweetwater. Like this thing on my head that's been recording, it was from them. So if you're not just making music and you're actually doing content creation, they're the ones you hit up, because you'll also get a bag of candy, and chances are it'll be pretty awesome. But enough about my thoughts. What did you think about this? Do you like the Zen-like allure of building the pedal board yourself, or do you want one pre-made for you? Or if you're building your pedal boards and you could pick 5 pedals, let me know which pedals you would pick and why you would pick them. If you want, include what order. I don't care. It's up to you. Just let me know. And with that said, thanks and laters.